Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Bibek and today I will share 820 questions and answers for Copilot and Agent Administration Fundamentals or AB 900. Let's get started with our questions and answers. Question number 1. Your organization is designing a zero trust architecture that emphasizes continuous validation across all security layers. Which foundational principle should be prioritized to enforce this granular per request authentication? Option A, defense in depth. Option B, assume breach. Option C, least privilege. Option D, verify explicitly. Option E, micro segmentation. The correct answer is option D, verify explicitly. Verify explicitly is the core zero trust principle that enforces continuous per request authentication and authorization. Every access request, regardless of origin or network location, must be validated using all available data points: identity, device health, location, and behavior. The other options, while relevant to security, serve different purposes. Least privilege limits scope. Assume breach guide breach response. Micro-segmentation controls network boundaries. And defense in depth is a general layered strategy. None specifically mandate per request validation. Question number 2. A new policy mandates that temporary contractors can only access the specific project database during business hours for 2 weeks. Which zero trust concept is being applied most directly here? Option A, assume breach. Option B, just-in-time access. Option C, multi-factor authentication. Option D, principle of least privilege. The correct answer is option B, just-in-time access. Just-in-time JIT access is most directly applied here. The policy grants temporary, time-bound access, specific database, business hours only, 2-week window, which is the defining characteristic of JIT. Access is provisioned exactly when needed and automatically expires, eliminating standing privileges. Least privilege is related but defines scope of access, not its time-bound nature. MFA is an authentication mechanism, and assume breach is a security mindset, neither governing temporal access constraints. Question number 3. When implementing a zero trust model, which strategy involves treating every access request as if it originates from an untrusted network, regardless of the user's location? Option A, enforcing strong passwords. Option B, micro-segmentation of the network perimeter. Option C, explicit verification for all resources. Option D, deploying next-generation firewalls. The correct answer is option C, explicit verification for all resources. Explicit verification directly embodies this zero trust strategy. It treats every access request as potentially hostile, whether from inside or outside the network, requiring full authentication and authorization every time, regardless of the user's physical or network location. The others fall short. Strong passwords are just a credential practice. Micro-segmentation divides the network, but doesn't eliminate location-based trust. And next-gen firewalls are perimeter tools, all contradicting zero trust, never trust, always verify philosophy. Question number 4. As part of zero trust deployment, which phase would specifically involve using tools to discover, classify, and apply encryption to files containing intellectual property across SharePoint and OneDrive? Option A. Secure, remote, and hybrid work. Option B. Prevent or reduce business damage from a breach. Option C. Secure AI apps and data. Option D. Identify and protect sensitive business data. The correct answer is option D. Identify and protect sensitive business data. This phase specifically focuses on discovering, classifying, and protecting sensitive data, exactly what's described. Using tools like Microsoft Purview to scan SharePoint and OneDrive, classify intellectual property, and apply encryption directly aligns with this phase core objective. The others doesn't fit. Securing remote work addresses access and endpoints. Breach damage reduction focuses on containment and response. And securing AI apps targets AI-specific data governance. None specifically cover data discovery and classification workflows. Question number 5. Following a sophisticated phishing attack, you need a tool that continuously monitors user behavior and alerts on anomalous activities like impossible travel or suspicious inbox forwarding rules. Which Microsoft 365 capability provide this deep behavior analysis? Option A. Microsoft Defender for Office 365 Safe Attachment. Option B. Microsoft Secure Score. Option C. Microsoft Purview Audit. Option D. Microsoft Defender for Identity. The correct answer is option D. Microsoft Defender for Identity. Microsoft Defender for Identity continuously monitors user behavior and detects anomalous activities like impossible travel, suspicious forwarding rules, and lateral movement patterns, precisely what's needed post-phishing attack. The others serve different purposes. Safe Attachments scans email attachments for malware. Secure Score measures overall security posture, and Purview Audit provides log record for investigation but lacks real-time behavioral analytics and anomaly alerting that Defender for Identity specializes in. Question number 6. An organization's security policy states that any sign-in attempt from a device not compliant with Intune policies must be blocked outright. Which feature combination is required to implement this policy effectively? Option A. Self-Service Password Reset (SSPR) and conditional access. Option B, multi-factor authentication, MFA, and password protection. Option C, conditional access and device compliance policies. Option D, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint and Smart Lockout. The correct answer is option C, conditional access and device compliance policies. Conditional access evaluates sign-in requests against defined conditions, while device compliance policies set in Intune define what compliant mean, OS version, encryption, antivirus status, etc. Together, they enforce the rule. If a device fails compliance check, conditional access block access outright. The others don't achieve this. SSPR handles password reset. MFA and password protection strengthen authentication, but can't access device compliance. And Defender for Endpoint with Smart Lockout addresses threat protection and brute force prevention, not device compliance enforcement. Question number 7. You need to configure a policy where users signing in from a new country are challenged with MFA, but if the sign-in risk is detected as high, example, password spray attack, access is blocked. Which two features must work in concert? Option A, MFA and SSPR. Option B, conditional access and identity protection. Option C, smart lockout and password protection. Option D, PIM and compliance policies. The correct answer is option B, conditional access and identity protection. Microsoft Entra Identity Protection detects and calculates risk signal, flagging high-risk events like password spray attack with a high risk level. Conditional access then consumes those risk signals as conditions, enforcing the appropriate response. MFA challenge for unfamiliar locations and outright block for high-risk sign-ins. The others fall short. MFA and SSPR handle authentication and resets. Smart lockout and password protection defend against brute force attack. And PIM with compliance policies governs privilege roles and device standards. None provide dynamic risk-based access decisions. Question number 8. An auditor requires the ability to search and export all mailbox content for a legal case, but must not be able to modify any IT settings. Which rule provides the minimum necessary permissions? Option A, Global Administrator. Option B, Security Administrator. Option C, Exchange Administrator. Option D, Compliance Data Administrator. The correct answer is option D, Compliance Data Administrator. Compliance Data Administrator grant access to search, review, and export mailbox content through Microsoft Purview, precisely what the auditor needs for the legal case, without any ability to modify IT infrastructure or security settings. The others violate least privilege. Global Administrator has unrestricted access to everything. Security Administrator manages security configuration, and Exchange Administrator can modify mailbox and mail flow settings, all granting far more than an auditor requires. Question number 9. A security analyst needs to create and manage policies for quarantining phishing emails, but should not have permissions to manage Exchange mailboxes or Microsoft 365 user accounts. What is the most secure method to grant these permissions? Option A. Assign the Security Administrator role in Azure AD. Option B. Add the user to the Security Operator role group in the Microsoft Defender portal. Option C. Grant global reader and limit scope to the Security Department. Option D. Provide a custom role with PowerShell script execution rights. The correct answer is option B. Add the user to the Security Operator role group in the Microsoft Defender portal. Security Operator in the Microsoft Defender portal grants right to manage security policies, including anti-phishing and quarantine policies, without touching Exchange mailboxes or Microsoft 365 user accounts, perfectly satisfying least privilege. The others over provision. Security Administrator includes broader administrative rights beyond policy management. Global Reader is read-only and cannot create policies. And a custom PowerShell role introduces unnecessary risks and complexity when a built-in scope role already exists. Question number 10. A series of login attempts are occurring from multiple geographical dispersed IP addresses, targeting a single user account within minutes. Which feature can automatically detect this pattern as a brute force attack and temporarily block the account? Option A. Conditional access location-based policies. Option B. Microsoft Entra Identity Protection. Option C. Multi-factor authentication enforced by a registration campaign. Option D. Azure AD Smart Lockout. The correct answer is option D. Azure AD Smart Lockout. Azure AD Smart Lockout is specifically designed to detect and automatically block brute force attacks, tracking failed login attempts across dispersed IP addresses, and temporarily locking the account when suspicious patterns are detected, all without admin intervention. Identity protection detects and signals risk, but doesn't automatically lock account in real time. Conditional access requires pre-configured location policies, and MFA registration campaigns enrolls user in MFA, but provide no brute force detection or blocking capability.